Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Coffee Rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. If you had to hit pause on this video to get your coffee or whatever beverage you deem necessary, go ahead and do that now, as this will be a lengthy discussion. We've got a lot to talk about, guys. A lot. We've got more recalls. Going to talk about some cool things, too, here. We're going to save something that I am really excited for here near the end of this video. But we're going to get into some of these different recalls. First, it's not going to be a play-by-play, guys. I think that's what's kind of been, tough for me to do with a lot of these different food recalls, is we all need to know what's going on. I will not be going over all of the different numbers and lot numbers and expiration dates and stuff like that. We're just going to kind of breeze through these because there's so many. There's so many. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So this is on the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's website here. Okay, so the one thing I want to talk about, and if, everybody who's watching this right now, chances are you have the internet, so maybe look these up if these products affect you. But I kind of just want to breeze through these because, like I said, there's so many. It's just, it's mind-boggling how all this just keeps happening. Anyway, so apparently Bornstein Foods, or Bornstein Foods, however you say it, Bornstein Seafoods Incorporated recalls cooked and peeled, ready-to-eat cold water shrimp meat because of a possible health risk. Spoiler alert, possible listeria. That's right, listeria's been out of the news for a while, and I guess it needed to rear its ugly head back above water again. No pun intended. And it's 44,550 pounds. So, of any of the Bornstein Seafoods of Bellingham, Washington, if that is where it's from, it's the ready-to-eat cold water shrimp, and there is a huge list of products. Multiple UPC codes, multiple lot codes, multiple different packaging, and it's just massive. They say no illnesses have been reported. The recall was the result of the firm's routine sampling program, and listeria was detected. I always skip over the monocytogenes. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Listeria monocytogenes. I'm sure there'll be people down in the comments correcting my pronunciation. Please do. The recall was a result of the firm's routine sampling program, and Listeria monocytogenes was detected in an in-process shrimp sample in a food production environment. The company has ceased the distribution of the product as the company continues our root cause investigation as to what caused the problem. If you have these, get your full refund. The recall is being made with the knowledge of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And they look like, it says Bornstein on the bag. So if you've bought Bornstein ready-to-eat peel and eat shrimp, I highly encourage you to check these recall codes. Okay, so we're going to backtrack for just a second here. This is the fresh one. The fresh, right off the press. Okay, now Dr. Pepper is recalling more than 19,000 cans. Let's see. Got Fox News here talking about this. A lot of you guys mentioned this one in the comments, so just throwing it out here. The thing is that, and this is why, it's hard to cover a lot of these, because when this one first came out, it just said Dr. Pepper, right? Now, if you would have read on, you would have seen that it was Dr. Pepper Zero. Now they're putting Dr. Pepper Zero in the title, which, helps. Dr. Pepper Zero sugar recall, upgraded as FDA warns of serious health risk for diabetics. I'm assuming if it has real sugar in it. Let's find out. A recall of mislabeled cases of Dr. Pepper Zero sugar has been upgraded amid a serious health risk, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, and Dr. Pepper announced a voluntary recall last month of 19,203 12-pack and 24-pack cases of 12-ounce cans of Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The cases of soda were found to contain full sugar. How many of these, it just amazes me for something that is so serious, right? I mean, we talked about this when there were mislabeling of different peanuts and the coconut cashews and then different, peanuts in products that were mislabeled. I mean, you can only hope that they get to this very quickly. Sometimes we read about these things, and not these particular ones for this reasoning. I'm just saying, like, sometimes we'll find out about this like a month later. It's like by that point, it's too late. It's too late. Your sugar has gone like crazy at that point, and not saying this one is like that, but one that particularly hit home for me was when the Great Value the peanuts were listed as honey roasted cashews, right? And it actually had coconut cashews. The label was wrong. And it's like, well, I'm allergic to coconut. I mean, and you don't think about it when you get into a can of peanuts or something, right? You just open it, like if I'm driving or something, and I just open it and I'm snacking away, I don't even think about it. These days I do, because of incidents like that, right? These days I do. And I recommend anytime you open, I may be the only one here, but anytime I get like a burger or something from like a fast food restaurant, I've always done this. I always look at it. I always open up the burger. I don't just rip it open and look at it and everything. But a can of peanuts or something, yeah. If I'm on the road and I'm driving, I'm going to open them up, start eating them, Not now. Not that happened, but I've always been one to always check, my sandwiches that I get that somebody else has prepared, those kind of things. Always look around, make sure, I don't want to get graphic or anything, but, you want to make sure that there's nothing on said sandwich. So this Dr. Pepper thing is a Class 2 recall, and this is my point. I'm not going to show the video photo here, but they show regular Dr. Pepper on the picture here. Anyway, they have Dr. Pepper Zero right next to it. So the FDA defines a Class 2. It's a Class 2 recall, which is a situation, quote, a situation in which use of or exposure to a volatile product may cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health effects, consequences, or where the probability of serious adverse health consequences is remote, end quote. I would have to say that this has got to be a little higher than that. Because if you're a diabetic and you're drinking Dr. Pepper Zero, you just got off work, right? You just got off work. You might have been a diabetic for a long time or something. You get home, you go into the fridge, you grab that ice cold Dr. Pepper Zero that just cheers you up at the end of the workday. Then all of a sudden you're hit with a big sugar blast. These mistakes just can't happen, guys. I mean, I understand. Things happen. This is happening way too often. Way too often. I don't know, how many have we gone over since the beginning of 2025? All the undeclared allergens and foreign objects in the food. I was hoping we had been rid of the whole listeria thing for a while. But apparently it's back in this frozen shrimp. Now that happens sometimes, especially like with frozen products. We see it happen with ice cream, with the listeria and stuff sometimes. But, this is why companies invest in labs and testing and people that are smarter than I am. Right? Apparently, I mean, I don't want to say that, but I mean, it's like, and stuff can slip through the fingers and stuff, and, you might be an issue with that. I was really just joking there, but still, it's like, come on. This stuff has to be tested rigorously so that these kind of things don't happen. Let's see. A regular 12-ounce can of Dr. Pepper contains 39 grams of sugar. That is a lot of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. 39 grams of sugar. I mean, it's crazy. The recalled cans were produced by Jacksonville, Florida-based Pepsi Beverages Company, which is licensed to manufacture Dr. Pepper products. Let's see. The Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar cans in question have the product code. I wasn't going to do all this, but it's just one code. So, 4 X's. XXX. Boy, that's like a... I don't know. It's kind of strange. XXXX RS05165 with a best buy of date February 16th, 2026. Quote, best buy, end quote, date of February 16th, 2026. Boy, that doesn't seem so long, does it? I remember when soda pop, when it didn't used to have like a couple years. And, you know, I don't know with stuff that they put in pop these days and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't last as long. I'm not really too sure. But either way, that is that recall getting out of there. And let's see. I think there's another one here. Something with ice cream. Let's see. This one is on All Recipes. This is a website that I like to read from a lot because I like learning new recipes. And this is more a website for that subject. But whenever there's any kind of recalls or anything, they do cover a lot of these different recalls. So it's, you know, I like checking it out. You know, it's all different kinds. Sometimes you'll find different people from all around the world that have given recipes to different things and different spices. You know, I'm always trying to learn new things when it comes to food. They go on to say here, FDA announces recall of Breyers ice cream for undeclared life-threatening allergen. Hey, Unilever Manufacturing Incorporated has issued a recall for select tubs of Breyers ice cream due to a labeling error. Breyers Rocky Road ice cream was inadvertently packaged in a, quote, chocolate truffle tub with a, quote, Rocky Road labeled lid. Because of the packaging error, the ice cream contains undeclared allergens. Right, yeah, if there's peanut, we were just talking about that, you know? It's like you don't want to dig into something and then realize, oh my goodness, I have a peanut allergy, or whatever the allergy is that's in there that's undeclared, whatever it is. Unilever initiated the recall for 6,668 cases on June 2nd, 2025, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration classified it as a, quote, class 2, end quote, recall, meaning eating the ice cream, quote, may cause temporary or medically reversible adverse that's a little different. Quote, may cause temporary or medically reversible adverse health consequences, end quote, on June 10th, 2025. Yeah, you know, says to determine if you have the Breyers is a very popular ice cream. We have a lot of viewers on the channel that have always, you know, asked for me to point out different sales and stuff when I see them on Breyers. I know a lot of viewers, once Dollar Tree started selling Breyers ice cream, I know a lot more of our viewers have been getting it. So we'll go over this one. How to identify the recalled Breyers ice cream. To determine if you have the recalled ice cream in your freezer, look for a Breyers tub labeled as, quote, chocolate truffle, end quote, ice cream with a mismatched lid labeled, quote, Rocky Road, end quote, ice cream. The tubs actually contain Rocky Road ice cream, a chocolate ice cream with marshmallow and chocolate-covered almond pieces, rather than chocolate truffle ice cream, which is a dark chocolate ice cream with dark chocolate truffles. The 1.5 quart tubs have the lot code JUL 1026 GB as in boy 3. JUL 1026 GB3 and UPC code 077-567-457-288 printed on the package. And that is going to be it for the recall part segment of this coffee rant here, because that is all Dano can handle, because it is driving me crazy. All of these different recalls, guys. I mean, it's like I want to get the information out here, but kind of just driving into it like we have been in the past, it just takes up a lot of time, a lot of research. The information's out here, so if there's any other questions or anything, make sure you check the FDA website or any of the websites that we went over today. All recipes for the Breyers ice cream. The Bornstein shrimp was directly off of the FDA's website, and Fox News for the other one we went over. It's amazing, guys. It is absolutely amazing. You know, all of this stuff that is just going on with food recalls. It is just insane. Absolutely insane. Dr. Pepper Zero. Dang, I couldn't even. I had to go back and look that up. It's crazy. There's just so many, guys. It's hard to keep up with. It's hard to keep up with. It's like, it's just too much. It really is. And does something need to be done about this? Of course. But it's so many different products all the time now that it's like, for me, I get these alerts on my phone, and I know a lot of you guys are commenting on these different alerts and everything, and I really appreciate it, and it's good for our fan base, our viewers, our YouTube family on here. You know, thank you so much for that. Some of this stuff is really hard for me to get to because of all the different price increases that we're seeing in the grocery stores right now. I'm really trying to focus hard on that. I'm seeing things that are going up in price, but we're also seeing things that are going to lead to other things going up in price, right? And I'm not going to get all into that. We've talked about some of that. We've talked about some of the different spices, sugar, stuff like that going up. That's going to ultimately cause other products that you love to go up in price. Things with sugar, things with said spices. Now, make sure you post your comments down below of anything that you see in the stores that have been going up in price recently. We know, things with metal are going to be going up because the excuse, or reasoning for that is out there. I always say excuse, but I mean, I feel like, a lot of these companies are going to use all of these different tariffs, whether it's true for that product, whether it's actually made in the United States. I feel like companies are going to use that as an excuse. They're going to use that as pointing the finger at something and saying, oh, well, we have to raise our prices too. Now, a lot of companies won't, out of fear of people just not buying them anymore, because you have to factor that in too. How much can I really charge people before they say, nope, I'm not going to buy it anymore? So, we're dealing with a lot of that right now. So it's, wanted to dedicate a little bit of time to go over some of these recalls, but I'll tell you what, it is just, whenever you see one or hear one, I know a lot of you guys get the same notifications that I do on your phones and laptops and stuff like that. So, feel free to post them down in the comments when you see something new. I may or may not be able to cover it as we go along, so I do appreciate anybody who does that. And next, we have something exciting to talk about. And this has nothing to do with this video. So, I hope you enjoy this next part. Superman. I am excited for Superman. I was just talking to, I've talked to several of my friends. We were some comic book nerds growing up, and I am very excited for this rendition of Superman. Tickets went on sale yesterday. I have not gotten tickets yet, and I feel like I should, because it actually crashed Fandango when they were selling tickets. And I think Cinemark and some other websites were having trouble. Guys, this is a movie, and I was talking to my mom about this. One thing that we feel like this Superman movie is going to bring is a symbol of hope. This is this is something I feel the world needs right now. And that's something that this movie is supposed to deliver, right? Like a symbol of hope. This is going to be a Superman that, instead of, not caring about anything, this is a guy who's going to care about people and care about the world. Not saying that, don't get me wrong, I love the whole Zack Snyder Superman and all that, but it was really dark. It was really dark, and this is going to be, looks like more of a brighter take on the Man of Steel. And most of you know I am a huge Superman fan. I grew up with the Richard Donner Superman movie with Christopher Reeve. I mean, he's my hero, and I absolutely love Superman. Very excited for this movie. And some of you have commented on this, so I wanted to add this into the video. No, I have not gotten my tickets yet. I'm probably going to go to the theater to get the tickets. I need to find out which of my family members and friends want to see it. I will probably see it a couple times. But it looks amazing. This is going to be the start of the new Detective Comics universe, the DCU. And I think they come out and they just kind of say off the bat, this is a comic book universe, right? This isn't a movie where we're going to try and ground a guy, to where this guy has just been slipping through the fingers of the people, trying to find himself and understand himself. No, this Superman already understands and knows who he is, and he's here to save people. Truth, justice, and the American way. or whatever they say these days. You know, in the United way, in the worldly way, right? Not just American way. This is a Superman who saves everybody faster than a speeding bullet. He can travel pretty quickly. And I'm beside myself. I've been seeing some of these previews, and it's just like where movies have come today. You know, I feel like even 10 years ago, it would almost probably be impossible to do a movie like this. But this is going to be I've been waiting for, you know, I love Marvel, okay? I do love Marvel. I love what they did with the movies. I've never been a Marvel comic book guy. I've always been a detective comic guy. I love Batman comics. I love the Superman comics. I love detective comics. Can't talk. I love the stories that they bring out, right? There's stories, you know, that kind of unfold in Detective Comics, as to where Marvel just kind of, I don't know, it was always just kind of playing around, you know, and I don't know. I just couldn't get into Marvel Comics. But I do like the Marvel movies, and I kind of see this could be the direction that James Gunn, who did Guardians of the Galaxy, which I absolutely loved, probably my favorite Marvel movies out of that. And when I found out he's doing Superman and creating this whole new detective comic universe, I'm stoked. I'm excited, and I'm glad there's something to be excited for in the movies. You know, I mean, really cool. Me and Jess went and saw Stitch. I did put that on our Instagram, and that's one thing I get so busy sometimes I forget to mention that me and Jessica do have Instagram. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, as we do post pretty much daily. Sometimes we miss a day or so, but we'll post some photos like daily of some of the things we're doing and stuff. So be a fun post for tomorrow. We have something going on. But, you know, we can do that in real time where you guys can kind of see what we're doing in real time. But, guys, I'll tell you what. The food recalls, I wanted to mention those. But I'll be honest with you, the real thing I wanted to talk about was some exciting news with the Superman. I was really excited when that came out. I was excited when I heard that so many people were buying their tickets already, that, you know, everybody has a lot of faith in this movie, and I'm excited for the new universe and everything. But anyway, I know that kind of took our video kind of out of what we were talking about originally, but, you know, it's something where we're just going to have to play the way, we're going to have to play out the way things go, guys. We're going to have to just keep an eye on some of these things. I won't say exactly where I went tomorrow, but it was a little stressful because I was expecting something and we didn't get it. And I am curious what your guys' thoughts are going to be on tomorrow's video. So anyway, I'm going to end it there. Really excited for Superman. Really upset with all the different recalls going on. But I just wanted to talk about those here for a couple minutes. Didn't really know. Obviously, I don't script my videos or anything. Just had some things that I wanted to chat about with you guys. Also, this donut cafe coffee from Dollar Tree, they also sell it at Ollie's Bargain Outlet. This is one that I got from Dollar Tree. This is terrible. I don't know. The last one I had, it was okay. I don't know if it's because I used less coffee or less water. I just had like a small 6-ounce cup. This is a 10-ounce cup, and this is off of one of the Keurig pods of that Donut Cafe. This is not good. It is not good. Anyway, somebody recommended it to me. I don't know. I mean, to each their own, I guess. I have some of it, and I'm trying to save the good stuff because, you know, coffee keeps going up in price. So I'm kind of getting all the other stuff out of the shelf and then moving things around. We've been kind of moving some of our pantry items and stuff, making sure that we're cycling out the dates and stuff. You got to remember to do that, guys. You know, if you're stocking up on canned goods and stuff like that, the last thing you want is for them to go bad. You want to make sure that you're eating them, right? You know, we always talk about stocking up on sales and stuff like that. Well, you know, if you're not eating the product, then you're wasting it. So you want to make sure that you're cycling those things through, and that is something I've been doing today. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.